I'm Eric Loy, and this is Part 2, a chance to check in once again with previous guests of Eric Loy Interviews. It's hard to imagine, but about 1 year ago today, I started this here podcast, and the very first guest was Corrupsin. Hi.
How are you?
I am great, and you are doing extremely well, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's been a year.
Yeah. Well, we started off from absolutely nothing. I mean,
Yeah,
I was
you and me
just
both.
I was just sending out from a very unsuccessful email campaign to randomly trying to get a hold of people. This is before I even got into Discord, and you were the first person who said, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah, that was me. Yep.
In fact, I think that might be your exact words. Sure, why not?
I think honestly, I think you're right. I think those were my exact words.
Well, you were just kind of getting your feet under you that then, and of course I hadn't even started yet. But good grief, I look to see what you've done this last year, and you got to be pretty pleased with that.
Oh, I am. I mean, it's been a wild ride. I'm on my hopefully my last model because you've seen all the changes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, we went through so many different models. But this model I have right now, hopefully it's my last. I can add new outfits and everything like that. But it's been an incredible year. I've grown so much as a person, and my community has grown, and oh my God, if you had told me a year ago we'd be in this position, I wouldn't have believed you. I called you a liar. No lie.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly didn't know I was going to be here doing this, and looking on, this week we're going to have number 400 in the can, which is pretty crazy. But
Congrats.
yeah, well, it's my wife doesn't like it, but what are you gonna do? I stay out of her hair. That's what she gets. But to see how you have, really blossomed with this is really amazing to me. And I definitely remember your first 24-hour stream because
God,
I wanted
we
to
just did the second one.
I wanted to see if I could get your local 911 people out to check on you at the end because it was just kind of sitting there and making noises for a while.
It was something else, but no, this time I took breaks and I think it was much needed.
Yeah, and it just to see, you look back on those first couple ones, I imagine, or do you look back on those first couple ones?
I do. I feel like an entirely different person, not gonna lie, Eric.
Yeah.
I feel like I have grown so much in myself and in my identity as who I am as a person, as well as a VTuber, that I think they're two separately different people. I think the person who I was a year ago was learning about themselves and trying to feel more comfortable in their skin and trying to feel more of them and just really understand who they are. Because a year ago, I just got out of a really bad relationship.
Right.
I was trying out streaming. A year ago, this would have been my second month of being affiliate.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have imagined another, this community that I built because I came out as non-binary back in August, and
I remember that.
I have built a wonderful community. We call ourselves the Thaby Army. One of my really good community members, their name is Earthy, and they started calling me Thaby, and then I started calling anyone who identified under the trans community Thaby, and now we have this wonderful supporting platform for anyone who identifies as trans, and just a little bit special. And the way that we all support each other and the way that we come around and show each other love when we're having a really bad day, or just in general, if there's a win, if there's a loss, it's really beautiful having a community that support each other no matter what. And I sob constantly on how much they blow me away with supporting one another and supporting me and supporting everyone. It's just, I really do have the best community, and I'm biased. Sue me.
Well, it's just, I really want to do a round table with some folks from the trans community on here, because it's because I'm way outside that. Not only am I old, but I'm about as quote unquote normie as it gets when it comes to stuff like this. but but the fact that people are becoming more comfortable with themselves, you basically grew up in a year.
Yeah, I did.
From
I
going,
really did.
I mean, I remember you were unhappy because you just gotten out of that relationship, and you,
Mm,
you mentioned it quite a bit, and you didn't really. You could tell that I could tell anyway that you had a personality ready to go. You just
yeah.
weren't quite ready to pull that trigger yet,
No.
and
No.
now you can't stop it.
I'm on an upward spiral. I don't think that's the right term, but I am on an upward spiral, and I have a mission now.
Mm,
I know last time, a year ago, you asked me what I wanted to do, and I talked about mental health.
yep,
That's still the mission.
yep.
But now it's growing even more so. I think I am actually doing this, but I want to provide a safe place on the internet where people can come to my community and feel safe and be able to cause comfort chaos. That's my branding, is comfort chaos. We're little goblins, but we have a good time, and it's just it's if you just sit and like watch the way that my community interacts with one each other
Oh
and how
yeah,
they support each other, it makes me cry. Like I'm gonna be totally honest with you, it makes me cry, and
I
I just
I know. I've seen it.
I've cried so much, Eric. It's so bad.
I, I
It's so
I lurk a
bad.
lot more than anybody thinks in these streets. but really, it's the folks that you've been able to gather together as not only your community but people you've been able to collaborate with and and get some people that you can trust on here. Um, I hate to answer this question because it's a stupid one, but how big is this now in your life?
Honestly, I mean, it's everything to me. Like I mean, I have a life outside of streaming, but like my this is what I want to do. Like
Mhm.
I would love to do this full time. I would love to like take this as far as I can take it because I enjoy this position I've been put in so much. I enjoy entertaining people. I enjoy supporting people. Honestly, I feel like I don't do enough, and I have been told by multiple people, especially my moderation team and my friends, that I overdo it a lot and I overwork myself a lot. But it's so hard to stop something that I care so much about.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like I could never give myself enough, and I have been told to pump the brakes and slow down because you're gonna get burnout. And I'm like, it's very true. But alternatively,
Just
keep going forward.
keep the noise down over there.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's great to see. I mean, does this come on, piece by piece, gradually? I mean, did you find little bits and pieces of your own personality along the way, or did you just kind of wake up one day and realize what was going on?
bits and pieces. I
Hmm,
think it was bits and pieces, and I think it was learning to feel comfortable in my own skin because I mean, for the longest time, I didn't feel comfortable in my identity at all.
right.
Like I knew that I identify as non-binary, but having a way to express that is has been very difficult because my model is very feminine. My model is extremely feminine.
It
However,
definitely
me
is. Yes.
behind it really really
Yes.
is.
Folks,
But the
check out.
people who have seen me
Just look at right there. There it is. Very much so. Yep.
But the people who have seen me knows that I am very androgynous and lean more masculine.
Hmm.
And it's a way that I can do both. Like I love being 50-50 down the middle split. And the way that my model is and the way that I look personally, it's I don't know, it just itches my brain so much. And I feel like being a non-binary person, you don't owe anyone anything. Like your pronouns are your pronouns.
Right.
You deserve who you want to be. You don't like how you look is how you look.
Right. Right. I mean, you can
Yeah.
pronoun anything you want at this point.
Yeah.
You have all of the pronouns.
Yes.
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 Yes. That's why I stick with the gray, them, they. Just
Yeah.
kind of hope that everybody's okay with it. I don't want to make anybody mad as much as I possibly can. Uh, the the aspect of the gameplay part of it.
Mhm.
You always seem pretty comfortable with that from the start. That hasn't changed, has it?
No, I used to only do collabs. Do you
Hmm.
remember that? Like, I
Yeah.
used to solely do collabs,
Yep.
and now, like, I mostly do solo streams. I think along the way, I felt more comfortable in my own skin than I like having the friend group that I have.
Hmm.
They allowed me to feel comfortable enough to be me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I always had to like rely on people, but they allow me to grow and blossom in a way where I felt comfortable in my skin to be able to do this by myself as well.
Yeah.
And now I just it's amazing. Like I love playing video games, and then experiencing games is a lot different now
Mhm.
because I've been doing a lot of solo place gameplay because I haven't played very many games, if I'm being honest with you, Eric.
Yeah.
Like, the only game before I started streaming was this game called Smite, and you've been in my channel,
Oh
you
yes.
know my history about
Yeah. Yep.
Smite.
Yep. I do. Yes, I definitely do.
For those who don't know, there's a joke in my community where my aftercare for 6 years was, here's a Smite, here's a towel, I'm gonna go play Smite. So Smite and I is a very toxic game for me.
It's just
So
keep away from Smite now. Keep away.
I'm keeping away. I'm keeping away, Eric. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
It's like me in Stardew Valley. I'm staying away from it right now because my 30 save files are calling me, but I'm not doing it. I'm not going in there right now. Maybe
I'm
later.
so proud of you.
No,
I'm so proud of you.
it calls me when I'm in the living room. It definitely calls me. Uh, but it's just kind of see this from my point of view a little bit because
Mhm,
I saw you get started and we had a really nice interview the first time and then we talked again about the 100th show and
mhm,
I could tell by then that you were already becoming more confident in yourself. I don't think
mhm,
you had quite um, come completely out yet as non-binary, but
mm-mm,
you seem more
mm-mm.
comfortable with your friends, who are, by the way, a goofy bunch. Um,
I love friends.
they are, they are. But I say that with a heart around it. Um, but it like peeled the layers off of you.
Yeah, it
And
really did. It really did. It's wonderful and wild to me that having a support group that loves you for you and lets you experiment within yourself.
mhm,
It's amazing what it'll do for your self confidence and your personality. And like I've never been this supported in my life.
mhm,
And like I'm gonna shout out Angel Wolf here.
yeah.
She's actually the person that encouraged me to try they them pronouns and like stick with them and like see how they feel. And I stuck with them and I haven't looked back.
If
And
anybody hurts Angel Wolf, they'll have to answer to me.
she is a wonderful person
Yes,
and I adore her with all of my heart.
yes, yes. And I'm an old man, so you have to listen to me. Um, but with that, has there been some downs along the way?
I think my biggest down is right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, Eric. I mean, I started picking up really big around my birthday
Hmm.
for my 36 Hours of Sin, which was my debut of my new model that I'm using right now.
Right.
And then I immediately went into Cineween where I streamed every single day for
Yes.
31 days straight,
Yes,
which
you
was
did.
wild and a crazy time.
Yes. That was every time I turned on, and there they are again.
And then after that, I went into Elden Ring and I had the Elden Ring bet to try to beat it before the end of the year, which I did, by the way.
Yay!
Very proud of myself.
There you
Never
go.
played a Souls like before, and I kicked that game's butt. Um, but now I feel like I don't know. I feel like I need to do something big and I need to do something bold for my next move. And I love streaming and I'm loving this downtime of like no pressure to do anything. But I don't know. There's just like I feel like I have projects in the work, but those aren't until later on, and I'm just
Yeah.
like I'm anxious. I'm
Yeah.
anxious and I'm
Yeah.
I'm ready for the projects. And like I feel like almost like there's a lull, but there's not really a lull because I'm still growing and being supported and it's still amazing and awesome. But it's just like I don't know. I'm really anxious to for the next thing that I
Just
have
chomping
planned.
at the bit, looking for something to do. Please give me something to do. Please give me something to do.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, that's
Yeah.
me. That's me right there.
Well, don't for the love of everything, please don't just do something to do it, for crying out loud, because that's always
Yeah, no, I'm waiting.
yeah,
I'm waiting.
that's always when you regret it later, and
Yes.
in
Yes,
everything in
no.
life, everything in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's now that you've got a good group that are coming on to watch and listen and be a part of it with you,
Hmm.
have you felt now a responsibility toward their enjoyment? You're responsible for them. Like you have to go out there and do it because even though you're not feeling great today, you don't think you have it today. You're going to do it anyway because of them.
I think it's the opposite. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie. So Christmas was a really hard holiday for me.
Mhm.
Because this was technically the first, no, technically second holiday I spent without my long-term partner
Mhm.
that I broke up with.
Right.
And I was going through it and I was struggling, but I wanted to stream on that day because I wanted to be there for the peoples, but also at the same time I wanted people to be there for me because I wanted my community to support me and call me selfish, but I just we find comfort in each other knowing that all of us are lost lonely souls on a holiday that meant to be happy and upbeat and just it's I find the holidays I'm relying on my community a little bit more than I should because I just I don't know. I don't go this may be a little bit selfish, but I don't go live for them. I go live for me
Mm.
because I it's healing for me. This
Yeah.
entire journey has been so healing for me and I if there's a bad day and I know there's a bad day, I feel bad ending stream early. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but they make me not feel bad.
Yeah.
They allow me to have that space to be like, listen, you are not okay. If you need to take time to yourself, take time to yourself.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful mod team who supports me in re-establishing my own boundaries with myself because I'll stream when I'm not feeling good
Yeah.
just because I want to get that like it's almost like a streamer high if you will just like playing video games and talking with my community.
Yeah.
But there, I mean, there have been days.
Slightly less
Hmm.
chance of being arrested. Slightly less chance.
Yes, yes, slightly less chance of being arrested for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but they allow me to make sure that I'm also taking care of myself because there are sometimes streaming is not the best for me. Like I need to stop streaming and I need to go calm down and take care of myself because I do think now that I have a bigger community, um, breaking down in front of people isn't the smartest idea.
Mm.
Because I am seen as the community leader and I am seen as all this thing, but also at the same time, I want to be open and honest and have these communications with my community because I always have been open and honest. I always
Yeah.
have been open and honest on what's
Yeah.
going on and how I'm feeling and what everything's going on and how much they know how much they mean to me and they know how much I love and adore every single one of them.
Yeah. And it's a double-edged sword in a way because
Hmm.
you want the bigger community, but with that bigger community comes less of a comfort of knowing what everybody's thinking.
Yes, this is true. This is very true. One of my mods has told me multiple times that I need to make myself less accessible because the bigger you are, the more people are going to want more of your time and it I love the small community feel, but also at the same time I want to be able to survive as much many as possible. As much as many people as possible space to feel comfortable in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope as I grow that I am still able to have that small community feel because I really want to because it means a lot to me to have that small community feel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's success is a double-edged sword.
Yes, Yeah, because you also feel extremely lonely as well sometimes.
Mm.
But luckily, I have been very blessed and have an amazing friendship and community with all of my peers, and I just
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever experience loneliness again.
So with that, have you been able to expand your circle a little bit?
I have actually. I've met some really wonderful people, and I adore all of them so much.
It's not the easiest thing to do for folks. No matter if you're introverted, extroverted, no matter what, because sometimes we've talked about it before. Sometimes it just doesn't fit, and there's not much you can do
Yes.
about it.
Mm-mm,
And
mm-mm.
one bad apple could spoil a whole bunch of girls, according to the Osmond brothers, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
I bet you we didn't think you were going to get an Osmond brothers reference today.
I
Uh,
did not.
yes,
No.
yes. Well, there you go. Happy anniversary. um, but really, it's you're at the point now a little bit where you have to toe the line a little.
Yes,
Are you a little worried about that?
I am. I am really worried about that. Cause I don't know. I just I want to love on everybody and I want everyone to feel loved and supported. But I do know that I mean if you look at my schedule that I have, it's booked.
Uh-huh.
Like there is not a time where I have for myself and I am like spreading myself very thin and I know I am and I know the reason why I am is because I want everyone to feel loved and supported and I'm very much a person of I will put other people's needs before my own. That's one of the reasons why I'm very grateful for my mod team again
Yes.
because they make me slow down and be like, "Hey, look what you're doing. You're overworking yourself. Take a day off."
Whoa, Nelly! Whoa!
But I mean, I'll do it. I'll overwork myself. I'll overcommit to people, and I'll overcommit to everyone, and that's not good.
Well,
If sin needs to be sin before they can give out sin.
yeah. Well, for someone who is called Sin, you obviously got a heart bigger than that. So, I mean,
I
just
appreciate it.
well, I mean, it's obvious because you care about the community and the people that are around you, and it's great that this has become an outlet for you to not just blossom as a person, blossom as a entertainer,
Mhm.
but my guess is, and tell me if I'm completely wrong,
Mhm.
um, emotionally too.
Yeah.
You've gotten to just fire off a few emotions that you didn't know whether you'd be able to do that again.
Yeah. No, I emotionally I've grown to an area that I never thought that I would grow to. Like it's just I feel like my therapist calls it getting out of survival mode.
Right.
I am no longer in survival mode. I'm in thrival mode, as
Mm.
I nicknamed it.
I like it.
And I don't know. I feel more in touch with my emotions and I'm able to feel when I'm uncomfortable and feel I'm just it's raw emotion and I haven't felt that in a very long time.
Well,
And it's nice and I love it so much.
I'm very proud of you for one.
Thank you,
Yes,
Eric.
but I got a question here that's a tough one. You can tell me where to go if you don't want to answer it.
Okay.
With what you went through before you started streaming,
Mhm.
if that hadn't happened and you were still in, what you were having to deal with at the time,
Mhm.
the long term, do you think you'd be anywhere near where you are now?
Oh, 100% no. I don't think I don't think I would be. Like I the reason why I got out of that relationship was because I actually met Tally, Acer Tally,
Hmm.
and Angel and all of the other amazing people and they helped me see what I was going through and gave me the strength to leave that relationship.
Yeah.
Um I knew, I mean, I wasn't happy. I wasn't who I was meant to be and I know that I wasn't me.
Right.
I look back at photos of me and I look back at myself during that time period and I wonder how long I would be able to last in that situation. And it's funny because I'm realizing this now. And it sounds super fucking cliche to say, but I think streaming saved my life. I
I
think,
I think you can definitely argue that. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, I
Um,
I think I think if I didn't have streaming, I think I would be a very miserable person today.
mhm.
And I think I wouldn't be as confident and as happy as I am today.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Um, obviously, to get through to where you've come to now, I hope you realize the strength and the courage that you've shown to get here.
It's funny because I don't like I have this like out of body experience constantly where I feel like one day I'm going to wake up and I'm 12 again in my bedroom crying for because I am locked in my bedroom because I have a fever.
Oh,
Like it's very bad imposter syndrome that I have because
yeah.
I just I'm just me and I just keep doing me and I keep growing. And it's weird because I have people in my community that have told me that seeing my strength and resilience and seeing me be so comfortable in my skin has helped them with their gender identity.
Hmm.
It's really heartwarming as well because it's like I feel like I do these things and I don't even know that they impact people
Yeah.
until they tell me they impact them, and it warms my heart every single time.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you over this year how many people have messaged me and told me like I did something impactful for my life, and I just broke down sobbing because it's I mean that was my life goal. That has always been my life goal is to help people,
Yeah.
and I would have never in a million years thought it would be through streaming and VTubing that I would be able to help people feel comfortable in their own skin.
With a potential audience of the entire planet.
You're too sweet.
And
You're too sweet.
maybe other planets. I don't know. I mean, heck.
Maybe we never know.
But yeah, to you're walking the walk. Some people
Hmm.
talk it. You're walking it. You're simply by existing and continuing to do what you do, you have become a you're gonna hate this role model.
It's funny because I think you're right, and I forget. Sometimes I forget. Earlier today, there was a situation, and they're like, it's your community. Do what you want," and I'm like, "Huh." I forget. I forget. Oh yeah, I'm in charge. This is my monkeys. This is my circus.
That's right.
But it's inspiring almost for myself because it's like I am a big sibling in my family unit,
Yeah.
and my siblings look up to me a lot, and it almost feels really inspiring that I'm able to also do that for like a lot of people all around the world, a lot of babies, a lot of community members, a lot of love bugs,
Yep.
and I really hope I want to keep riding this train, and I want to help as many people as I possibly can. And if that means accepting the term role model, then I'll accept it. I'll accept it, Eric.
Well, in another year, I'll remind you again. We'll see how it goes. Stop. Shut up, old man. Hey, if I want that, I'll talk to my wife. No, really. Again, it's just so wonderful to see that not only are you enjoying yourself, but you are found yourself and enjoying yourself.
Yes,
That's a quite a big double header there.
it really is actually. It really really is. Like I if I'm on the verge of coming to terms with my sexuality. I am in the middle of coming to terms with my sexuality, but it's hard to put labels on something that's very fluid with that.
Hmm.
And I don't think I ever will put a label on it. I just think I'll just call myself gay. There is a gay counter. I have a gay counter.
No, I mean, if
Yeah.
people, my generation,
Hmm.
um, we're sticks in the mud, obviously, and we want everything to be labeled and pigeonholed and easily categorized and put into place.
Yes.
Thankfully, your generation doesn't do that.
Yeah, I'm able to put my gender identity as a whole, but my sexual identity, putting a label on that stresses me out too much. And I'm just like, it's here.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's just a thing that exists. Just ignore that. Let's play more video games. That's how I've treated it as.
Hey, if something shows up, you know, but you know, if not, I mean, what are you gonna? My generation tends not to think in 3 dimensions. We think black, white, up, down, 1, 2. I'm hoping that yours and future generations will do better at thinking in 3 dimensions.
I think we're headed that way, especially now that like mental health is becoming more mainstream, and talking about mental health, especially men's mental health, is more mainstream now, and I want to continue to push for that, because I feel like mental health has this stigma around it, and I think once we reach that barrier, I think we'll be really good.
Absolutely.
As someone who is diagnosed with bipolar type 2, it is a wonderful thing seeing it become more accepted and more loving and more understanding.
Yeah, and people are learning more about it, and if you're in a friendship situation or relationship situation with somebody, they're learning more about it and trying to help instead of running away when something happens. And the more, that's always trying to create a good atmosphere for somebody to live in is something too.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are doing okay with that for the most part. You're doing better than I am, I'll tell you that. Sure.
Oh,
but I will say this.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
I will say this. I do therapy myself. This is therapy for me. I mean, this started off definitely as therapy for me, for being an old radio guy that suddenly, you know, no one wanted to have on the air anymore. Couldn't make any money at it. This is tremendous therapy for me. I suggest anybody that if you feel like you need to talk to somebody, go do it. I mean, it'll probably be covered by insurance, and if not, move to Canada.
Move to Canada is a wild area. But yeah.
But really,
no, I therapy has done wonderful thing. I've been in therapy since I was 15, and I'm 23, so I've been chugging along for a while now.
23, yeah, not even a drop in a bucket as far as age goes. But I tell you what, I thank you so much.
You're gonna make me cry, Eric. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Because without you, this doesn't work. I'm going to edit that out. No, really, it really does mean a lot to me. And anything you need that I can help with, you let me know.
I will.
Thank you for listening to Part 2. Please check in on the Eric Loy Interviews YouTube channel for more interviews with the always interesting VTuber community.